Colin Meloy is a singer, songwriter, and published author that I hold near and dear to my heart. Through the last 5 years of my life, I've spent many, many hours listening to his songs, sung and written by him. I really enjoy his music, so today I decided to do my personality social media brand audit over Colin Meloy. I'm going to be talking about the different types of social media that Colin Meloy has, the different types of interactions that he has on this social media with his band, the Decemberists, as well as his general audience. And I'm also going to be dissecting why and how his social media exists, what could make it better, and what makes it as good as it is. Let's get into this. Before we can identify who Colin Meloy is and what his social media happenings are, this man right here that I'm pointing to is Colin Meloy. This is the website for the Decemberists. It's very visually appealing. It has nice fluid motions. It has links to their tour dates. It has links to their music, videos, and store. And by clicking any of these little active icons right here, you can go to any of the Decemberists' social media. But today, we're interested in Colin Meloy, not what the Decemberists' social media is. When reviewing Colin Meloy's social media, I'm going to be going in the order from least active to most active. This right here is colinmeloy.com. This is a website that Colin Meloy made to explain what the Decemberists is and who he is. But recently, see this pink Live from the Farm? That's from December 10th. And right now, they're about to start a tour. So this is not a very active area right here. It generally only talks about things from the past and happenings that might be big in his life. It's not as impactful as something like his Twitter, which we will be looking at last, as it is very active. On to Instagram, we see a little bit more followers at 35,000 followers. That last website only his general like per image is only 10 to 15 per image. But here on Instagram, his average like counter is in the thousands, like around 1,500 is what I'm seeing based on the images. And older ones, the older you go back, the more likes you'll get as more people have had time to see them. Now, Colin Meloy's Instagram is something that I didn't even know existed until now, because I don't really use Instagram for any other tool than backing up images. But seeing that Colin Meloy has a lot of personal images of his family, his children, and all kinds of different happenings, it's really an interesting and nice place to look at what his artistic side is. He's pretty good at taking photos, too, as a lot of these have really nice structure to them. Some of the photos, such as this one right here, follow the rule of thirds, having 3 equal horizontal lines that you can see, making sure that nothing is exactly half. You can see the lines here are nice. He has good lines in his images. Overall, he has a really appealing looking Instagram. Here's Colin Meloy's Facebook. Immediately apparent is this link right here below his name, which leads to the Decemberists' Facebook, which has 500,000 followers. But Colin Meloy isn't very active on Facebook. And this is a good example to show us how Facebook isn't really something that younger people or people in their mid-30s or mid-20s are really part of anymore. His last post was on March 25th, and that's just talking about the new streaming show that's coming out. That's the new 20th anniversary celebration coming up in early April. But you can tell based on his other posts, such as this one right here, he only posts every couple of days. Here's February 5th, and then the next one's right here, and it's at March 25th. So it's really almost a every month occurrence that he posts to here. His photos are pretty much apparent in every post that he makes, And things that are odd that I've noticed is he really does not like Donald Trump, and he makes that very publicly apparent. And, I mean, love or hate the guy, I personally am indifferent to anything political. I think it's kind of an odd place to be preaching to people about politics. I mean, Facebook would be the definitive place to do that, but it's just odd to see Colin Meloy even talking about that because I've never even heard him say a word about politics in my life before. And finally, we have Colin Meloy's Twitter. Now, out of all the different social media platforms that I have experienced Colin Meloy being a part of, I would say that Twitter is his strongest. He has posted 8,787 tweets as of today and has over 1.3 million followers, whilst simultaneously only following 6 people. That's pretty impressive. As you can see right here at the top, he's plugging his tour that's coming up, and he's verified, which is good. But the best part about his Twitter that I noticed is he posts almost every single day. Here we have March 29th, March 29th, March 27th, March 27th, March 27th, March 26th. As you can see, he's really active on here, which is a good thing because he's trying to let the audience know that he's not going anywhere and he's not going away. Now, this is the definitive place to find news and information in regards to Colin Meloy. And also, he has links to his website right here, though it is not very well traveled. Now, I can say almost definitively that the main objective of Colin Meloy is to promote his band, the Decemberists, a band that he has basically started from the ground up, working with his wife and close friends. They make music that anyone can enjoy, music that is almost always safe to listen to without profane lyrics, words that generally invoke heart and soul feelings and reactions. It's a good way to unwind and relax. His music almost has a tone of country, but without country. It's kind of perfect. In-person concerts, I can definitively say that at all of those concerts, I was the youngest person there. The first time I went, I was 19, and I was surrounded by a sea of people in their mid to late 30s and even early 40s, almost all wearing plaid. Basically, Colin Meloy makes music for people who consider themselves to be hipsters based on what I can visualize from seeing the audience.
Wally, I'm doing my audit. Come on. Gotta leave me alone. I know you're hungry.
Aww. And finally, the piece de resistance. We shall discuss and critique what we have learned by reviewing these social media sources and the way media has been posted on them, as well as the type and format of media. My first takeaway, I would have to say, is the more media, i.e. photos and videos that are in a post, the more positivity it gets. So on Instagram, for example, I looked back a couple of weeks and I didn't see any sort of video media whatsoever. And then further examination showed that even posts that were like older and further back, the more personal people that were in Colin Meloy's life, like pictures of him or his family and daughter and son, the more likes and follows and posts they get. So the more personal they are, the more they're liked. So maybe post more personal media. Something that I just want to go off on a side tangent. I've listened to the Decemberists for the last couple of years now. And the newest album that came out in 2018, I'll Be Your Girl, was kind of different. It was a departure from the traditional song styling choices of the Decemberists. It went more generic and radio friendly, and many different websites have ranked it as one of the worst albums that they have made. And something that I can say is all of the social media sources that I looked at had no reference or mention to I'll Be Your Girl except for colinmeloy.com on which isn't very updated often, so it's not a reliable source. So in order to garner more people, it would be good to not change the the flow of the way the music used to be. Maybe go back to your roots, or Colin Meloy should go back to his roots. Start making music that might appeal to younger audiences, but not just be a sellout for the radio. A way to garner more views and follows would maybe to diversify the audience, because as it sits, and as stated earlier, most of the people who like and watch and listen to the Decemberists are a little bit older than me already. So maybe to get people around my age group, we could try to appeal at different events. Maybe they should. There is no TikTok, so a lot of people around my age, not me, but a lot of people my age use TikTok to connect with people and also to view celebrities. So maybe making a TikTok and being able to use that form of media to talk to people would be a good way to get the music to the younger people. Maybe making a song that could be played and showed to younger people. Cool skits like that. I mean, I might get a TikTok if Colin Meloy from the Decemberists decides to make one. Okay, furthermore, posts that are friends and family, as previously stated, get more. So maybe incorporate family into and also members of the team into more of the post. That might allow, especially on Instagram, to get more posts. Because a funny thing that I noticed was the second most recent post on his Instagram, which was talking about the debut of the new tour that's coming up starting the 11th of April, had around 1,900 likes, but a post of his son from a week earlier got almost 5,000, and it was just a picture of his son just sitting out on the balcony. So people really like to learn more about Colin Meloy and his family, so maybe incorporating that would help a little bit too. And finally, I will say that politics, be them as they may, Colin Meloy has his specific thoughts on it, but in the comments section of that post, I noticed that there's a large split between people. A lot of people very much agreed with what he said about Trump getting banned from Twitter, but a lot of people didn't find it very nice, and I feel like the best way to garnish the audience's attention would be to try to appeal to as many people as possible, rather than cutting off about 30% of your viewers by saying that you don't like their, at the time, current president. Maybe you could try to just keep politics out of what's being posted. And Instagram, I also noticed, had a complete lack of videos. So maybe if he posted some more videos, that especially would get more posts, more follows and likes and posts. And at Facebook, I will say only had 20,000 followers, and it's pretty dead. And if he really wants to keep doing it, he at least needs to post once every month or so, because sometimes there were dry spells when I looked back where there were weeks or if not months where he did not post anything on Facebook. All of these social media platforms also that Colin Meloy uses are used specifically for him to make the Decemberists more well known, make his music well known. As the head lyricist and the head writer for the Decemberists, he wants people to know that. He wants people to hear the music. And I believe that these ways, these takeaways that I have accumulated together would really help Colin Meloy's career, and also his social media platforms garnish the attention that they rightfully deserve. Thank you.